Hello everyone, Mr. MCA here. This is a lap guide for the newish lap time challenge at Fuji International Speedway with the 2023 Super Formulas. So we have the Honda and the Toyota Super Formulas. Both of them perform the same, they just sound a bit differently, so pick whichever one you prefer more. So this is a 2-week online time trial event in sport mode, and this event ends at the end of July 24, 2024, where we're under racing soft tires with BOP turned on, and no, you cannot tune your car. Your goal is to go within the 3% time range of the world record time when the event ends, as that is when your lap time gets counted, and hopefully you'll end up with the 2 million credits. And let's get started with the lap guide, where I'm actually in the Honda Super Formula, as this car has a pretty sick mule shot livery that I found. I'll leave a link to the livery in the description down below. And when you're driving this car, for most of the track, you don't really want to use first or second gears. Really only use them to rotate the car around, the exception being the chicane sector 3, but for the rest of the track, the lowest gear you want to be on is third gear. Now, your first braking point is going to be when the curb on the left starts, so this is right around the 100 meter board. You're going to use all of your braking power and make your way down to first gear. Now, you're turning in after the 50 meter board, so this is before the grandstand on the left ends. Start to ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. As you hit the apex, go up to third gear and carefully get back on the throttle. You want to be careful getting back on the throttle, because even on third gear, you can get some wheel spin and you will spin out. Now, this next turn is pretty tricky. You're turning in right before the 50 meter board. It is possible to take this turn flat out, but you need to get your turn in perfectly. In my case, I do a little lift off our throttle. You're going to go flat out through here thanks to the wonderful thing called downforce. And this is a bit more for reference. I like to try to get close to this path on the right. That way I can get myself set up for this next corner. For this next corner, you're going to brake right when the curb on the right starts. So full braking power, go all the way down to second gear. Now do note that I am turning in pretty early. This is after the 50 meter board, before the Waco sign up above. So going down to second gear, ease off the brakes, doing a bit of trail braking. Then go to third gear and carefully get back on the throttle. It's really easy to spin out here as well, even if you're on third gear. Then bring yourself towards the left, and just after the new sector starts, there's this line that goes across the track. You're going to brake before that line, before the big Dunlop sign on the right. Full braking power going all the way down to first gear, and you're going to turn in before you reach the white marker that is on the left. Ease off the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking, go up to second gear. And the reason why I'm going pretty narrow here is to set myself up for the next corner, where I'll go up to third gear and then try to get on the throttle as soon as I can. So a little bit of throttle control up to third gear and carefully get back on the throttle, not hitting the board on the right. Then just after the turf on the left starts, that's where you use 50% of your braking power and turn in. You can go down to second gear for more rotation. Just be careful about hitting this bollard on the right, because that has ruined so many of my lap times. Anyways, go up to third gear and carefully get back on the throttle. And again, nice and careful getting back on the throttle. I've spun out there so many times. Just after the curb on the left ends, that's where you start to use some of your braking power. So this is a pretty long section where you'll be trail braking. I like to go a bit wide and then bring myself in, going down to second gear for more rotation. Just as I hit the apex, go up to third gear and carefully get back on the throttle. And for the final corner, I'm treating it similar like the last corner, where I'm braking before the line on the left and gonna go a bit wide, then bring myself in to try to go for a late apex. Go down to second gear for more rotation. As you hit the apex, go up to third gear and carefully get back on the throttle. And you want to try to straighten up your car as soon as you can, that way you can use all of your throttle power. And in a moment we'll go ahead and go through this again, but this time I'm not going to stop the video. And here we go. So starting the new lap, going towards the left side of the track. Gonna brake when the curb on the left starts. So this is at around the 100 meter board. Turn at the 50 meter board, go down to first gear for more rotation. Exit on third gear. Nice and careful getting back on the throttle as the car will spin out even on third gear. This next corner can be taken flat out. Turn in at the 50 meter board. Here I do a little courtesy lift to make sure I actually make the turn. Flat out through here, no issues at all. Stay towards the right, brake when the curb on the right starts. Go down to second gear for more rotation. Exit on third gear. Nice and careful getting back on the throttle so you don't spin out. And eventually you're going to make your way towards the left. Look for a line that goes across the track just after the new sector starts. That's your next braking point. Go down to first gear for more rotation. Exit on second gear, then third gear. Little bit of throttle control. Brake just after the curb on the left starts. Going down to second gear for more rotation. Exit on third gear. Similar here. Going down to second gear. Back up to third gear. Nice and careful getting back on the throttle. And for the final corner, just like the last corner that we just went through, down to second gear and up to third gear. Just being really careful getting back on the throttle. Trying to straighten up your car so that you don't spin out when you get back on the throttle. Now let's go through this one last time, but this time we're going to be on bumper cam. So this is for the bumper cam homies out there. And again, staying towards the left, going to brake at the 100 meter board. So when the curb on the left starts, turn in after the 50 meter board. Down to first gear, back up to third. Nice and careful getting back on the throttle. This next corner can be taken flat out, but here I will do a little courtesy lift to make sure I actually make the turn. Flat out through here, stay towards the right, brake when the curb on the right starts, down to second gear for more rotation, back up to third gear, nice and careful getting back on the throttle. I've spun out there a lot of times, so yeah, you want to be pretty careful there. Just after the sector 3 starts, there's a line that goes across the track. You want to brake before that line, going down to first gear, back up to second gear, then up to third gear, being really careful with your throttle input. Brake just after the turf on the left starts, down to second gear for more rotation, back up to third gear, and you're going to repeat this for the last 2 corners, such as this one and the next one coming up. You just want to be really careful with your throttle input, that way you don't spin out. And there we go. So, oh my goodness, this lap time challenge was pretty painful, more painful than the X2019, and that's saying something because I actually really don't like the X2019, and this one's kind of taking the cake for me. But that's gonna be it for this lap guide. Hopefully this lap guide helps you out. This is Mr. MCA, and I'll see you in the next video.